let me ask you something. Do your presentations inspire action? Or, let's be honest, do they inspire sleep? If you've ever felt that sinking feeling of talking to a room of glazed-over eyes, you are definitely not alone.
Dear book lovers, welcome to another insight-packed book summary episode of Summerpedia. We are here to bring you more titles in less time.
In this episode, we're going to explore the important and highly practical lessons from the book Storytelling with You. Plan, create, and deliver a stellar presentation by the one and only Cole Nussbaumer Knaflic. This book is an absolute goldmine, so let's jump right in.
We have all sat through the presentation on the left, haven't we? It's just a data dump. It goes on, and by the end, you're more confused than when you started. But what we're all aiming for is on the right. A stellar presentation with a crystal clear message, an engaging story, and one that actually makes people do something. This book is the bridge that gets us from one side to the other. So where do we begin? Well, the first, and honestly the most important shift in thinking is to start right here, with your audience. This quote from the book just turns everything we thought we knew completely on its head. See, we think we're up there to tell our story, to share what we know. But the real secret? It's to form a story specifically for them. It's a complete 180 in perspective. And hey, you might be thinking this is just for some elite group of professional speakers. No way. The lessons in here are incredibly practical for so many of us. If you're a professional trying to make sense of data, a leader trying to get your team on board with a change, an analyst sharing what you found, heck, if you are anyone who wants to communicate an idea better, this is for you. So how do you actually do this? The book gives us this awesome, super practical exercise. Get a piece of paper and just sketch a person from your audience. Then list out why they might support your idea. And on the other side, get real about their potential resistance or biases. Just doing this simple thing forces you to step into their world and totally changes how you'll approach them. Okay, so you've got your audience in mind. You know who you're talking to. What's next? Well, this next part might be a little tough because it means abandoning something we all cling to, the linear path. I bet this looks familiar, right? We start with the background. We state the problem, we show all the data, we walk through our analysis. It's logical, and it makes sense to us because it's the journey we took to find the answer. But Knaflic has a pretty strong word for this. She says it's selfish. And when you think about it, she's totally right. It forces your audience to sit through your entire discovery process. They don't need to see all the work. They need the point. They need the story. So, if the straight line is out, what's in? The answer is to stop thinking like an analyst and start thinking like a storyteller. It's time to build a compelling story. This is where things get really cool. Knaflic brings in a framework that we all know and love from every great movie or book, the narrative arc. You've got the plot, which sets the scene. Then the rising action, where the tension builds. You hit the climax, the big turning point. Then the falling action, where things start to wrap up, leading to the final resolution. Applying this to a business presentation, it's a total game changer. And here's the magic trick, the real secret sauce. You don't need to invent a bunch of new content. All the pieces from that boring linear path are still there. The secret is just rearranging them into a story that actually creates some suspense and keeps people hooked. So how do you do this in the real world? The book suggests this really simple, low-tech method that I love. Just grab a bunch of sticky notes and jot down all your ideas. Then find the core conflict, your climax, and stick it at the peak. From there, you just arrange all the other notes along that narrative arc. You'll instantly see where the story flows and where the gaps are. To make this really stick, let's look at an example from the book about a trail mix company. So, the setting, a key ingredient is getting way too expensive. The rising action, the team tests new recipes to save money. And the climax, the data comes back and people hate the new mixes. Now you have a real conflict, a real story that needs a smart, data-driven resolution. See how much better that is than just a spreadsheet? Okay, you've done the hard work. You've planned your audience-focused story. But even the best story can fall flat if it's not delivered well. And that brings us to the final, crucial piece of the puzzle, delivering with confidence. Now, if you're thinking, but I'm just not a natural speaker, you have to hear this quote from the author herself. She says flat out that she wasn't born a great storyteller. These are skills she practiced and honed. That is so encouraging because it means anyone, literally anyone, can learn to do this. It is a skill, not some magical gift. And to help you build that skill, Knaflic gives us this amazing practical checklist. This is your roadmap. Record yourself. Yeah, it's cringeworthy, but it's so helpful.
Get feedback from people who will be honest, not just your friends. Practice your opening out loud. Please test your tech. And know your material so well that you can stop worrying about the slides and start connecting with the actual people in the room.
Now, before we recap, let's talk for just a second about the brilliant mind who gave us all these insights. Cole Nussbaumer Knaflic is the founder of the whole storytelling with data movement, and her perspective is just so powerful because she lived this herself. She started out as a banking analyst with, in her own words, a quivering voice, and she became this world-renowned expert by using the very methods she teaches. Her journey is all the proof you need that this stuff really works.
So let's bring it all home. If you forget everything else, just remember these 4 key things. 1. Always, always, always start with your audience. 2. Ditch that boring linear path for a narrative arc. 3. Structure your presentation like a real story with a plot, climax, and resolution. And 4. Great delivery is not a gift you're born with. It's a skill you build through practice.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought. Your data, your project, your big idea, it has a story locked inside it, just waiting to come out. The only question is, are you ready to be the one to tell it?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more impactful book summaries from Summerpedia.